Hi, I'm Miss Hickman, and I'm going to be sharing chapters 4 and 5 of Stella Diaz Has Something to Say with you today. Chapter 4. Ms. Morales is standing by the front door of the library to greet us one by one when we arrive for today's library visit. She's wearing her long pearls and her bright orange sweater, and on her left arm, she's holding her stuffed goose named Lucy, which everyone gets to honk when they leave the library. Hola, Stella, Ms. Morales says. Buenos dias, Ms. Morales, I say quietly, but I squeal inside. Ms. Morales has been our librarian since kindergarten. The best thing about Ms. Morales, apart from the fact that she speaks Spanish, is that she's so smart and loves sharing books with us. At the beginning of this year, when I started getting interested in fishes, she showed me all these books on Jacques Cousteau, a famous ocean explorer. Now I love reading about him. Welcome, Miss Bell's class, she announces as soon as all of us are sitting in front of a computer. Ms. Morales is full of spunk and a little different from your usual librarian. I think most librarians don't have purple streaks in their hair. Instead of saying hello back, we wave our hands in the air. Ms. Morales says proper library etiquette calls for no loud voices. Miss Morales waves back and continues. I hear you all are finding books for your sustained reading. Now, you remember how to use the catalog, right? Just find the Dewey Decimal Number, write it down, and look for the book on the shelf. If you have any questions, I'm here. The Dewey Decimal System is how the books are organized at the library. If it were up to me, I would just organize them by color like my colored pencils, or by height like my books at home. Still, it really does help when searching for books. With the power of Dewey, I find the perfecto book. I grab it and head over to a big table by myself. The pictures are so beautiful. I want to dog-ear the pages, but I only do that to my books at home. Ms. Bell comes up to me, crouches down, and says in a quiet voice, What book are you reading, Stella? What Lives in the Ocean by Tanya Michelson, I say. Sounds positively fascinating, she whispers. It is. Did you know that an octopus doesn't have any bones and has 3 hearts? I have to draw it later. It's just too cool looking. I heard an octopus named Paul became famous for predicting many of the winners of the World Cup. Wow, I exclaim. Ms. Bell chuckles. She lifts her fingers to her mouth. When I get excited, I speak louder than I realize. I think there will be a little time for drawing after the library, she whispers before standing. I smile and keep reading about octopuses. It turns out that they are extraordinary escape artists. To escape from their enemies, they release a cloud of ink to help them disappear. Then, because they have no bones, they can maneuver through almost any nook or cranny. They can even escape through a hole only an inch wide. That would be a really helpful skill to have. When it's time to go back to class, everyone says goodbye to Ms. Morales and Lucy. Adios, Miss Morales and Lucy, I say as I give the stuffed goose a squeeze. I have to admit, even though I'm in 3rd grade and I'm too old for this, it's still sort of fun. Lucy honks, and Ms. Morales and I both smile. Hasta luego, Stella. When we get back to the room, everyone starts chatting about their books, except for me. I get started drawing my octopus. I'm about halfway finished making sure I draw all 8 arms the same size when I hear a knock on the door. I look up and Ms. Green, who works in the office, is at the door. Ms. Bell meets her and whispers. I hear Ben Shaw say to Chris Pollard, It must be the new kid. I drop my colored pencils. I got so carried away with the library and my drawing that I almost forgot. Then I see who is standing next to Ms. Green. It's a boy, and he has light brown hair. I frown a little. That's very different from what I imagined. Class, Miss Bell said, this is our new student. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? The new boy waves at everyone. Howdy, I'm Stanley Mason. I just moved here from Dallas, Texas, or Tejas in Espanol. Ms. Bell says, Tejas? That's so far away from here. Has anyone been to Texas? A few kids raise their hands. I actually was in Texas last year on a family road trip. We went to see the Alamo, and we even went to a cave where we took a picture with a dinosaur sculpture named Grendel. But I'm always too shy to speak up in class. Plus, the Alamo isn't in Dallas. Stanley probably hasn't even seen it. Still, even if I weren't shy, I wouldn't be able to talk right now. I'm a little speechless. I can't believe that Stanley speaks Espanol. He doesn't look like someone who would speak Spanish at all. The new kid I imagined had dark brown hair like me and not light hair, and she was a girl. Miss Bell says, "Now, class, let's have everyone quickly introduce yourself to Stanley." One by one, people stand. There are about 10 people in front of me, and I feel nervous and a little sweaty. I want to make a new friend so badly, even if he is a boy. So what if he's not all the girl? So what if he's not at all the girl I pictured in my head? He speaks Spanish like me, and more important, he's new. He could use a friend as much as I could. I could be his first new friend here. When it's my turn, I stand up. I feel myself turning roja. I freeze. I just read that some octopuses can paralyze their prey. Maybe Stanley is part octopus. Probably not. He looks like a normal boy with freckles, blue eyes, and a cool monkey shirt. I catch myself staring at him for a second. Me llamo Stella, I say while looking away quickly. Sorry, I mean, I'm Stella. I say it even faster as I sit back down. I'm about to groan out of embarrassment when I feel my chair start to tilt backwards. My eyes grow grande like an elephant, and everything slows down. I try to reach out and grab my desk, but it's too late. Crash! Before I know it, my feet are sticking straight up in the air and my back is on the ground. I have fallen down in front of Stanley and in front of everyone. I close my eyes as I hear the entire class start to laugh. I check my arm and my legs. Nothing hurts. I think about staying on the ground, but I decide to go ahead and crawl up. I poke my eyes above my desk. Are you okay, Stella? Miss Bell is the only one not laughing. Yes, I whisper. I look at Stanley. He looks like he wants to laugh, but he's holding it in. There goes my new friend, I think. Who would want a klutz for a friend? I pull my chair back up and sit down, and on top of it, I can't believe I spoke Spanish instead of English. Doubly embarrassing. I stare at my drawing and I think about escaping through a tiny hole or disappearing in a cloud of ink. Today, I really wish I were an octopus. Chapter 5. You want a cookie? It has M&Ms in it, Stella. Do you like M&Ms? I'm in the middle of drawing sea creatures during class, but I immediately stop what I'm doing to consider the question. Ooh, I do like M&Ms, I think. I look up, dropping my pink-colored pencil. It's Stanley Mason. He's holding a box full of cookies. It's been a few weeks since I've managed not to speak to him once since falling down on his first day of class. I've just been too embarrassed. Even so, it's impolite to refuse a cookie, so I nod and grab one. My hand is shaking as I take a bite. My mom made them for my birthday. Stanley grins widely. I notice that he has a gap between his two front teeth. Oh, happy birthday, I mumble. As I chew, I notice that little cookie crumbs and spit fall all over my shirt. I cover my mouth with my hand so I don't look like a total disaster. Thanks, Stella. What are you drawing? I shake my head no. I use my cookie-free hand to flip over my drawing. I was trying to draw a blobfish, but it just looks like a pink mess. This will not be the first thing Stanley sees me draw. I only let people look at my drawings when they're perfect. Oh, okay, he says with a frown. I'm surprised. Why would he care? It's not like he wants to be friends with a klutz like me. I feel a little bad, so I mumble, "Thank you for the cookie," with my hand over my mouth again. Stanley looks happy. He opens his mouth as if he's about to say something else. Luckily, Miss Bell says, "Everyone sit down." "Stanley, come and sit by us," says Jessica Anderson, while Ben Shaw and Chris Pollard wave him over. I watch Stanley take his seat next to them. My mouth drops open. I'm amazed. In just a couple of weeks, he fits in already. I don't get it. Stanley also has not once looked sad or scared, not even for a second. If I had moved to a new city and school, I'd be terrified. Ms. Bell continues. In just a little bit, we're going to have a special ceremony for Dawn. Now, everyone knows Dawn, right? Dawn's the coolest, says Ben Shaw. Everyone agrees. Dawn, the school custodian, is always singing fun Beach Boys songs while he's cleaning. He also plays the craziest characters in our school plays, like Santa Claus in our holiday musical. Well, Dawn just became an American citizen, which is really hard. You have to take a big test, not to mention all the years of waiting. Jessica Anderson asks, what was he before? Miss Bell goes up to the board. She writes a bunch of words I hadn't seen before. In big letters, I see visa, alien, resident, and citizen. Great question. There are a few categories. Some people just come to visit. They get a piece of paper called a visa so they can stay a while. Don't you buy things with a visa? Asks Jessica. I lock eyes with her quickly and then look away. Although I've been in the same class with Jessica since first grade, she makes me nervous. Everyone likes her, but I think she can be mean sometimes. Like when she laughed at me the first day of class for saying words wrong. Then another time in first grade, she told everyone in our class that I had lice. Everyone believed her except for Jenny. The teacher even made me go see the school nurse, and of course I didn't have lice. Afterwards, Jessica said she was sorry, but I never quite believed her. Ms. Bell chuckles. Yes, you do buy things with a visa, but that's a different visa. For instance, people who come here for college get a student visa so they can stay here the entire time they're going to school. Then there are residents or legal aliens. They have green cards. They can stay here as long as they want, but they don't have as many rights as citizens. My mouth drops open. I only have a green card. I know because Mom showed it to me when we got it in the mail. I was surprised that it wasn't actually green at all. I don't know too much about how we got it. I remember Mom was really stressed about it. I also remember waiting forever. The only part that was fun was getting fingerprints done. Oh, and taking a bunch of pictures for it. But still, because of this green card, I'm an alien? Miss Bell continues. After you've been a resident for a while, you can apply to be a citizen. Then you can vote and be on a jury. You can even run for office. What if you were born here? Asks Michelle. Well, then you're already a citizen, a natural citizen. I gulp again. This explains everything. I am an alien. Since Don works so hard for us, we're going to surprise him with a celebration in the cafeteria, Miss Bell continues. We're all going to go quietly and sit in the dark until Don arrives, and then we'll turn on the lights, stand up, and sing the Star-Spangled Banner. Don't worry, we'll have a projector with the words for you to sing along with. If you guys do well, there might be cake. Everyone squeals but me. I always thought I was different, but I didn't really belong, but now it's official. I start picturing all the aliens that I've seen in movies, trying to find one that isn't so strange. If I could picture only one cute alien, I might feel better about the word. Instead, as we head out to the cafeteria, I picture all these spiny, crawly, deadly aliens, the ones that people run away from. When we arrive, I notice that the orchestra is on the stage. There are also some banners that read "Way to go" and "Congratulations." Because the whole school is there, I'm able to sit next to Jenny. I feel calmer when I see her, except she's not alone. She's sitting next to a girl who I've never seen before. The new girl has bangs that go across her forehead, and she's wearing neat red glasses. My heart sinks a little. I want to tell Jenny the bad news that I'm an alien, but I can't, not in front of the new girl. Stella, this is Anna, says Jenny. Hi, Stella, Anna says, waving. I make myself wave back. Did you guys know about the ceremony? I ask in a low voice. What did she say? Asked Anna, looking at Jenny. Stella asked if we knew about the ceremony, says Jenny. Jenny can always understand me. It's been that way since we became friends in first grade. Never have I ever had to repeat anything to her once. They turn and they both nod at me. Then there's a long silence. There's so much that I want to say to Jenny, but I can't. Even if Anna weren't there, it would be too embarrassing to say out loud. Just then, the school nurse walks by and says, "Here you are, girls," and she gives us small flags to hold. A minute later, the cafeteria goes dark. The whole group giggles for a second, and the teachers hush us. We wait in silence. Finally, we hear Dawn walking in, saying, "What's going on?" The lights turn on, and we stand up to sing. While we're singing, I can't help but still feel a little weird, like I shouldn't be allowed to sing. I wouldn't be an alien if I were still living in Mexico. I'd be the natural there. As soon as the music ends, Dawn says, "Thank you. This means so much to me. I left the Philippines for a better life in the United States. I'm honored to be an American." Dawn looks happy. He's even crying a little bit. I guess it's because he's no longer an alien. Everyone applauds right away except for me. It takes me a second, but I know it would be wrong if I didn't applaud, so I force myself to lift my hands and hit them together. Although I might feel bad, I'm still happy for Don, and it's his big day. As we clap, my mind wonders, if I become a citizen, will I finally feel normal? Will I be as happy as Don looks? That makes me feel a little hopeful. The cake that Miss Bell promised after the ceremony also helps.